Well, hello everybody. This is the beginning of the week video, and looks like we've tilted the house. I guess that's to make rainwater run off. Hope it's as easy to level it as it was to tilt it. Um, this is they're starting to level the ground for the solar array. Going to put 24 solar panels out here, and that would be Bia and Al. And let's just move on. This is forms being set for bathroom 3, showing how much rebar we have. It looks like there's a wide place here and there with no rebar. That's because we're going to pile up blocks like you see over here. There's another one there. And these are going to be like windows into the bathroom of glass block. And the block will stick outside the surface of the concrete when it's installed, making it even wider. So a 7-inch thick wall, 3-inch blocks set like an inch to the outside. That'll be a 5-inch wide niche where you put your soap and shampoo and all the crap that goes in the bathroom. And this is about 432 or 33 on this door form. It's made out of southern yellow pine, so it's pretty durable. And plus, we cover it with, you can't quite make it out here. Maybe you can. That's duct tape on the part that the concrete's going to touch. Obviously, this up here, you just wipe this all the red part off with a rag, but it would be stuck in here. Sometimes when you pull the form down, the tape stays stuck to the concrete. Sometimes it stays stuck to the form. And we tend to patch the tape a little bit until it looks pretty ratty, and then we just change it all. Just peel it off. This is looking from the side. They're starting to put the forms up. The inside forms first, and then they'll do the outside forms. This is bathroom 4. We call this a corner form. It's the first one because you know where the corner is going to be. You got to have a form there. You wouldn't know where to put the this 4-foot form over here until you have this to bolt it to, and then you're going to use a narrow piece form for this and the next to the other wall. So you start with what you know and go to what you don't know. Let's see, what bathroom are we in? Okay, this is back in bathroom 3. They've got all the forms up for pour number 2. You have a 4-foot pour, and then we're doing a 3.5-foot pour, because the top row of bolt holes in this concrete is the bottom bolts on the form. So you can put them through any set of holes if you don't want the whole 3.5 feet. We know it's a second pour because we got another 14 inches going to go on top of this. It fits around this 45-degree chamfer here on the beam. This is a 14 by 24-inch concrete beam. Sits on top of a poured concrete wall, so either you got a very deep beam with a beam up here and one down in the floor. What else could it be? It's either a beam or a column. You call it what you want. It's one solid chunk of concrete. Yeah, up in here, the rebar in this beam part is the same as if you would pour a freestanding beam. So if you want to cut this wall out at some future date, just get a diamond saw and saw the whole thing out of there. It's free. The beam is already there. And, you have to put rebar someplace. And something 14 inches wide, you need more than just rebar sort of in the center of it. This 7 inches that we use on walls and things like that is about as thick as we'd really want to go with single layer rebar. All it's going to do is keep the pieces from getting separated if it should crack during an earthquake. But we're doing, as you can see, we're doing a very concrete rich mix. You can tell from the color. It's 1 cement, 2 sand, 3 rock. And with the water equal to the cement weight. So if this was highway construction, that could test out to 8,000 pounds per square inch. We're only trying to make 4,500 pound mix, which is way overkill. Oh, this is a front view. See, there was a panel in this down here. When they poured the first 4 feet, they kept all this door jamb the right distance apart and square and plumb. But that's the first thing they take out when they pull the forms. That way they go in and out through that hole to do the other forms. The forms are already in there. They just have to raise them straight up. But this gives them access to the other side of the forms. So and when they do the top one, they could take the rest of this out, but they're generally going to wait. Okay, this is Benji, Nane. No, that's Nane. So this is Al. Benji and Al working on this chunk here, working the dirt back, and over there, Nane, he's digging and B is toting. We don't cut her any slack. I know she's a girl, but no slack at all. And she likes to work every day. We pay her child care person to watch her baby. What's a little boy? He's about 2 years old. So it gives her a break from 24-hour a day being with the kid, you know, and she earns a living. And actually, she lives in the house on site, which is it's not really a bunkhouse. It's just one of the brothers. This guy's brother is on one half of a duplex house, and his brother's on the other side in what we call the bakery. We're not running the bakery, so he lives in there. And the first brother, his side is a lot bigger, and it's got 2 bedrooms, so she's living over there. Oh, no big work boots and 3 or 4 sweatshirts today. She's getting down to the size of the person that's inside all that big pile of clothes she wears. Benji and Al. Al's filling the bucket and Benji's using the pick. They have to go to this rebar you see here in the corner. They got a lower string and an upper string, sort of defining the box that they're trying to create. And we got lucky in that we haven't got to dig this entire hillside away. We will sometime, because that's backfill for things on the property. But to get this piece of concrete in the ground while we still dig with hand tools, that's working out for that. That's why we're doing it now. It's the end of rainy season, and they're working inside about a third of the time right now. And when it's raining off and on, they'll go back and forth. But if it looks like there's going to be half a day of rain, they don't come outside at all. They work inside the house. And that's the other 2 working on their pile of dirt. And she's just waiting for him to fill it up. Oh, this is I don't know if you can tell at the bottom, but this has got a concave curve and then a convex curve, and to the right of off the picture be a curve the other direction. And what looks like the landscape of the moon up here, it doesn't really show up in the camera way. It looks like it's moon craters up there. But what it is, there's 7 cooktop burners built into this. It gets built into it. And I know there's a lot more than 7 holes, but for instance, right here, this is one of the 2 large full-size walks. They're like 30 inches across, and there'll be 1 on each of those. So you have a ring burner under the walk. It's got 3 rings of flame. So there's 3 individual gas valves one for each ring. You can have any of them on, off, low flame, high flame. And over here, this is where the valves are going to be that control that burner. And over here, we got a walk, and the valves go in there. This is another one. I'm not exactly sure what the setup on it is, but I know that it's got 3 valves, so they must be going back this way. Anyway, there's 7 burners. There's 7 places for the valves. Now the burners, they got little like cast iron. The whole thing is cast iron. It's a pretty nice, neat casting actually. The holes for the gas, for the flames are cast right into it, so it's that accurate. They didn't have to drill all those holes. It comes right out of the foundry, ready to go. We're going to set the burner on a like a little concrete pillow. There's a name, plinth, I think they call it. And this enclosure you see here, that's a stainless steel pot. This is a stainless steel pot. They stay in the concrete. They don't come out. The deal is when we don't want this burner, we're not going to be using it for a while, then we can take that piece out from underneath of it, and this just drops down. The gas line stays connected. And we have a stainless steel sheet that goes over this cook area with a lot of them blanked out. It'll keep 1 walk and 2 gas burners, and that's it. The rest of them is all just covered over. If at some future date we didn't want some of this stuff, we can pour it full of mortar. But the plan right now is, I don't know if it comes out in the camera or not. This is a molded edge like you'd find on a table or cabinetry. You see over here, it looks like it's like at a 45 degree over. It's all not on the screen. Looks like it's running an angle, but actually it's a 2-inch round going down, and then it comes out to a little V shape, and then it goes back into a curve, and then another curve on the bottom. And that was made by making a reverse image of it, and it's set right on the top piece of the form. So when they poured the concrete against it, it left that shape and reveal, and they just take those away. We'll use them those a couple of more times. They're painted like 3 layers of paint and then wax so they come off. What you see in the bottom is a bunch of wood on the form just not been taken out. Like this over here is a piece of phenolic board, and this is a piece hanging down, and this is parts of the box that was in there. They had a rainy day and they couldn't get out to their sand and gravel pile, and they were working on stuff that they had in the house. The forms have been on this sink top for a year and a half, something like that, since we were there. So they decided they'd just start uncovering it. So I'm sure they're going to pull all this phenolic board out of here too. And this bottom curved piece is made up of layers of lumber and phenolic board and things. It's all screwed together. We're going to use that twice more in the dirty kitchen, and possibly in the 4 spare bedrooms. We'll make something like this to put the mattress up on, and a computer table and a sink and some other stuff, like a built-in thing. Except we're not going to do all this formwork next time. We're going to cast these concrete partitions and have them just sit right on the floor. And then this bottom mold, we're going to reuse that, because it puts this same kind of a molded edge on the part that sticks out past the cabinet doors. And then it's got a 5-inch deep, 4-inch high toe kick. And it's got the form is setting on some of that foil-backed insulation foam, like 3/4 of an inch thick, and that takes up the what the floor tile and adhesive will take up. We're going to pour self-leveling compound. It might be 3/8 of an inch thick in the kitchen. It's about an average room. Some of them could be as much as 3/4, and some of them's almost nothing. Anyway, we had to take up that so we keep the height of the toe kick. So we set this up on foam, and also that lets you pry this this thing out from underneath of here. I don't know if you can make out. Here's the molded edge piece is still on it down in the bottom. You see it's about 2 inches wide right there. Well, when they pop that off, that'll leave a molding like what you have up here. And this top, I'm thinking stainless steel, but we could do ceramic tile. We could also, we have a couple of sanders for that make a 7-inch circular sander, but it's completely flat. There's no retaining nut or bolt or anything sticking out in the middle of it. And they're silicon carbide discs. Next best thing to diamond is silicon carbide. Some things it may even last longer, especially if you can't reverse the direction on your sander. If you got diamond tools, they'll cut really aggressively when they're new, and then they sort of quit. And what you have to do is you have to run the motor in reverse, and that uses the other edge, and it resharpens the edge that you used to use. So you just every so often you just change the direction. Like if you're running a industrial drill press drilling holes in ceramic, they all have a forward reverse drum switch on them. If they don't, I put one on them. It's not that hard to do. It's wires 2 and 8, or they're blue and black if it's single phase. If it's 3 phase, it's really easy to switch any 2 leads, and it runs the other direction. But we were drilling 6-inch thick ceramic, and that's the guy told me about it. To just because I was buying those water-cooled bits 2 a week, about $380 a piece. And he said, no, just change the direction. Those things will last 20 years. So and then I had a dozen extra ones because we had only used them once. Oh, yeah, wrong direction. This T-shaped thing here, it's set up on this bottom part that you don't see right now. And there was another piece of phenolic board out here the shape of the counter. And that's what this molded edge thing set on, was this piece above this. And then there was 2 layers of 1/4-inch ordinary plywood wrapped around this curve, wrapped around these uprights. There was like 30 of these across the room. Anyway, that's the height and the size of the counter. I'm not sure why they sent the picture other than to let us know they'd taken that formwork down. Oh, we get a picture of the other side. The other side, what we got over here is a 30-inch walk and 2 24-inch walks. These are what we're using for sinks. The sinks at Wilcon were, for a 9-inch deep sink, was 37,000 pesos, made by Frankel in Germany. We couldn't get anybody to answer us on internet. They sell stainless steel sinks out of Australia for about 1/3 the money. But still, you're talking 12,000 pesos. That's over $200. And a 37,000 peso kitchen sink, double bowl 9-inch deep kitchen sink from Frankel. What's that? $700 for a Behr's sink. And the undermount ones were more expensive by a little bit. The drop-in was a couple, 4,000 or 5,000 pesos cheaper. And then you still have to buy the faucet. So we went to Sky King, and I found these 9-inch deep walks. They're the kind that the street vendors use. You see them all over Manila. And they're about at least 3 times as thick as the Frankel sink. They're almost impossible to dent them without a big hammer. And they have handles on them. So we left the handles riveted on, and we poured the concrete. That locks them into the concrete. And we can put ceramic tile cut to fit the edge of the sink, and we'll have an undermount stainless steel sink. And they're brushed stainless. They're not so shiny that any kind of mark will show. Over here on the right, not in the picture. This is the end wall of the kitchen. This wall is 24 foot 3 inches across the width of the kitchen. This is where the dishwasher goes. And then we have a place on top. It's a shelf. However, what we're going to do is we're going to put a shelf that continues out over top of this on the back wall, and then it'll match this shape once it gets to here. So it'll be a full width shelf as long as it's above the dishwasher, and then it'll go back to one that's doesn't stick out as far as the sinks go. And we'll put another 2 up above that. And then the picture we looked at a minute ago, this will have a vent hood with shelves on top of it. It's going to be a flat vent hood. It's over all these things about 2 feet above this. And then we still have 6 feet to the ceiling. So we're going to put some storage space up there for things we never use, just to get them off the floor. Okay, we looked at that. This is the floor of bathroom 3. Because these aren't crooked. They were crooked when they used it on bathroom 2. You know, I guess they flipped this board over and it fits right this time. And last time the hose was flipped, you know, so the bolts are at an angle. Anyway, this is how they're going to pour that seal that goes underneath of the door. It leaves us 7 from the finished tile up. That step will be 7.5 inches, and when it get across the concrete, it's going to drop down 2 inches. That's by Philippine code. You have to have a lower floor area every place there's water. So that gets us past the 2-inch water drop, and keeps water from the shower running out across the bedroom floor. Okay, that's enough for today. The big item here I'm going to put in the description is unveiling the kitchen sink. I guess this stuff you see on here is white paint or something that was put. They painted the concrete molding things. These things you see in the bottom down here. They painted those a couple of times, and then they oiled or waxed them, and then they put a coat of latex paint on top of that. So if there's anything that sticks, it just pulls the latex paint right off the slick surface underneath. But it's dry to the touch, you know. Oh, and what I was talking about with the silicon carbide disc, these sanders are 7-inch. They draw 13 amps on 110, but they're 220. We're going to run them on 220. And I guess that's 6.5 amps. It's fairly powerful for a disc sander, and it cuts a 7-inch swath. So I got some industrial respirators that everybody hates to wear, and we have some. I don't know if we have them over here or not. We got some hats. They have a brim on them, and then they have a enclosure that sort of hangs down like a beekeeper, but it's solid. So if we put the big safety glasses like for ATV riding and the respirator and the hat, we can enclose Bea and hand her that sander and let her just polish this thing down to about a 4,000 grit. And we can have a cast, polished concrete counter. I'm not sure we'll do it in the kitchen because even with sealer, you're going to get stains on the concrete on the kitchen area. And then the stuff that splashes out of the soak sink in the sinks here, so you can splash up on top of your counter. And I don't know if you can make it out, but this is the convex part of it, and then it goes. It's concave down below, but it's just a straight line where the dishwasher fits. But we don't want this stain. But we have a lot of other concrete counters going in the house. These uprights that hold the counter up, and then you put your cabinet doors and stuff on. We have to make 81 of those for the rest of the house, because we're not going to do this formed in place pour all in one shot. We're going to pour these, set them on the floor, pour the base in with a toe kick, and then there's holes drilled in or left into these uprights that we can set the plywood on to pour the top, and then we can pull the little piece of rebar that we shove through that plastic pipe that's the hole, and then the form will come down, or we can get in there and pry it down with a crowbar. Okay. And remember to pray for all the people in this pandemic. We'll try to turn this thing off without shaking the crap out of the camera.